Good morning, friends. So we are here to start a new video. So I know you've seen me in the shirt a lot. I'm sorry. I just like it right now, okay? I like the color. It's doing nice things for me. So anyways, let's talk about this video and what's going to be happening. So I'm finally trying the read a book until I hit a 5-star challenge. So I'm going to try this out for a week. And I feel like it's going to be a struggle for a couple of reasons. One, I've had a really good string of books. Like my most recent video, like my most recent vlog should show you that I've been having an amazing streak of reads so far in the month of May. So in this video, we're going to try some books and see if they're 5 stars. So my current audio is Song of the Dark Wood by Sheila Masterson. It's basically, it's an interesting take on the Red Riding Hood trope, because essentially the Red Maiden is sacrificed to the wolf. They're supposed to serve them for 5 years, but they're usually found dead shortly before the end of their term. And it's really interesting because just before the previous red of our main character passes away, she says, oh, the wolf's not as bad as you think he is. But that apparently broke some sort of taboo, and so now she is no longer with the characters. So she's now passed away, and now our main character is currently on her way into the wood. There is a guy in their small town that is, he thinks, in love with her, but at the same time, he's not willing to balk at tradition. So he's not willing to act on it until her 5 years are up. So he's thinking hopeful at the end of the 5 years and whatnot. But she's like, no one has ever survived the 5 years, you know. Thanks for dashing my hopes of happiness before I don't know what this person's going to do to me, and just basically calls him on it. And it's good so far. I'm really enjoying it. This is a Libra FM arc that I picked up this month, so this book is new. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It definitely has that old folklore style fantasy thing going for it, and I'm really enjoying it.
We need to talk. I have a DNF for this video, which, if you're unfamiliar with the term, is did not finish. So it's the Song of the Dark Wood. So how far did I get in this thing? I got decently far in, 32% in. So I gave this book a decent and fair shot because I really liked the setup. It was essentially a take on Red Riding Hood that pulls from like a Hades and Persephone kind of myth, interestingly enough. So I really liked the setup and the concept of the series. For me, I was bored to tears. So I went to go look at some reviews to see what was going on with all of that, and to see if it got better so that I could see if it was worth sticking out. This is typically what happens when I'm thinking of not finishing a book, just because I want to make sure that I'm not missing out on something that's great. Because there have been books that I almost DNF'd that ended up being books I really ended up enjoying overall. This is not one of them. As I was looking at reviews, all of my concerns were validated by people who finished the book. As well as I found out that there was some authors behaving badly in review space with this book. Or at least friends of authors behaving badly with this book. So it was really easy for me to nope out at that point. Because it's like, all right, if you're going to be petty and stuff like this about your book, it's definitely not for me. Especially when I'm already bored. So sadly, this is one that didn't work for me. It just ended up, it was supposed to be this book about a woman empowering herself after being controlled by religious facts for years. But instead, she just ends up kind of pandering to everybody's whims around her rather than standing on her own 2 feet and deciding what she wants. And from the people who finished it, they said this continues and she doesn't ever really stand up for herself. And so I'm like, yeah, no, this book isn't going to be for me. So, womp womp. Sorry we're starting this book off on a bad note, or this video off on a bad note, but this is kind of, I've had a really good string of books. This was going to happen eventually. Hello. It actually hasn't been that long since I talked to you, but I decided to pick up a novella real quick this morning, and it was The Reclusive Mountain Band by Casey Cox. Now, clearly this is part of a bigger series. There's a lot of things implied that you're supposed to know at this point, but I really ended up enjoying it. I thought it was a nice, sweet male-male romance. It did feature 2 characters that were older. One was 55 and one was in his early 40s. And they've been like best friends for almost 20 years. And the older of the 2, he'd kind of been repressing all of his feelings about coming out, about love, all that kind of stuff for a really long time. And he finally realizes at the beginning of the book that he's in love with this best friend and he's about to go and tell him. And the best friend wanted to talk to him about his sexual proclivities, like his preferences, you know, because he's this reclusive mountain man. And so people assume a lot of things about how he would be in bed, but none of those were true. It was very much the opposite. And so he wanted to share this with his friend, and his friend's like, I'm settling down in life. I've realized I'm in love with you. I know this is a lot. Take time to process. I don't want anything to change. If you don't feel that way about me, I still want to be friends. And they kind of figure things out from there. Again, it was a 40-minute audiobook for me at the speed I was listening at. It was good. I enjoyed it. It's probably like a 3.5 star because I think there was too much that you had to know to fully enjoy it. So yeah, it was just one of those Libro FM audios for the influencer program that I had, that I hadn't gotten to yet. And so I thought I'd throw that in. The next one's going to be a recent release, like a new release. The next audio I have picked out. So I'm going to have fun with that. I'm not going to tell you what that is at this moment. But yeah, so I've got some time before heading into work. So I think I'm going to read physically till my coworkers get here and we can go outside. Hey friends, Editing Shay here. So I realized that my clip talking about the first part of this book is lost. So I'm pretty still in my feelings about parts of this book. So I think I can basically recreate kind of what I was feeling. So the next pick is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This book broke my brain at points, like especially early on, because I'm like, okay, so we have 6 girls who are basically taken in as orphans by this woman who drowns them in this spring. And because of that, they're newly awakened and special. And they now have powers of near-death divination, essentially. So they are essentially drowned multiple times a day to give visions and divinations to the local people. At the beginning of this book, the new young king, who's like 17, shows up and says, hi, I'm here for my divination. And there's a lot going on here and a lot at play. And of course, one of the knights is very broody, and our main character is Six, is her name to start at the book. Six is her given name as a diviner, I guess. And she catches his eye, he catches her eye, and things kind of roll from there. This is a romantasy. It definitely is. It has a lot of creepy kind of elements to it, but like it's working. It's working. And anyhow, I'm going to let my wrap-up clip say the rest, but there are my initial kind of thoughts on this book. Okay, so let's wrap up my thoughts on The Night and the Moth. So this book is really, really good. I'm giving it a 4.5 stars. So I've sat on this for a couple of days since finishing, and it's not quite a 5. The abrupt feeling to the end, I think, is a big part of that. This does end on a cliffhanger. If you're not a cliffhanger lover, this might not be the book for you. Wait till the next book in the series is about to come out and then maybe go into it at that point. But the writing is beautiful. It is eerie. It is creepy in just the right way. Not to a point where it's like off-putting or horror, but it is creepy and mysterious, and the reveals that you get throughout aren't necessarily the biggest surprises, but they were well thought out, well planned for the plot, and I'm really excited to see where this series goes. This has officially put me on to Rachel Gillig, and I will be reading more of her soon. My battery's about to die. Let me change that. So yeah, originally this was a 5, like on impulse when finishing, but after sitting for a couple of days, it is a 4.5. Just because it wasn't necessarily groundbreaking or earth-shattering, and it didn't necessarily do anything for me emotionally speaking, like a lot of my other recent reads that have been 5 and 6 stars have. So that doesn't mean this series won't finish that way, but right now we're sitting at a 4.5. Again, I'm very much not mad at it. It's a fantastic book. I highly recommend checking it out. And it's only been out a little bit of time by the time you're seeing this video, so I hope you enjoy it. Please no spoilers down below for any of these, by the way. I try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible.
My book is going to be My Friends by Fredrik Backman. Just to show that I had it with me, I'm just going to insert a picture for safety reasons as I am driving. So with My Friends, all I know about it right now is it's got a lot to do with like friendship. It's Fredrik Backman, so you know it's gonna take you through the ringer emotionally. This is the Barnes & Noble book club pick for the month of May, and I'm actually hosting my store's book club for it. So I really need to get this read. So that's why it's going to be part of this video, and I'm going to prioritize it and focus on it.
Okay, friends. So I've finally had some time to sit and read My Friends by Fredrik Backman, and it's already giving me 5-star energy. I really love what's under the dust jacket, which is why I've left it like this. I'm sure it will make more sense as we go on. So we are deeply steeped in the world of art and the misunderstandings of artists already. So we have a young girl named Louisa who has been told her best friend has passed away. And the adults around her, because she was in foster care and an orphan, do not understand what it means to Louisa to overhear that. And they don't understand her friend Fish, which is the one that supposedly passed away because she just had a hard time living. They say it's suicide. Grief and loss is a big theme in this book already, and I'm only 46 pages in. One day in one of her foster homes, there was this postcard on the fridge, and it spoke to her. And so she sneaks into a galley to see the painting in person. And it's a beautiful thing because this experience leads her to running into the artist. And so we're getting both of their stories. We're getting her story, the current timeline, and the past with him, the artist, and his friends. I've already almost cried twice. I mean, I know this is my first Fredrik Backman, by the way, if I didn't mention that before. I know that you're supposed to feel very deeply reading his books, but man, I didn't expect it already. I mean, you know, I expect about halfway through the book. No, that's a lie. I read A Man Called Uwe, but it's been years. And that one's not hitting me like this one's hitting me. This one's hitting very different. Maybe because the artist is my age, and we just found out something about him that I don't know how to feel about. And because she had broken into the galley, the security guards call the police, and there's this one line that the artist tells someone who comes up to him who's clearly like one of his people, the artist's people. And all he gasps is, "Don't let them catch her, Ted. She's one of us." And I have so many big feelings about that. And the deep friendship and camaraderie that was shown between the artist and Louisa while they're just sitting having a conversation after she accidentally ran into him. And there were many misunderstandings in that whole moment that just barely got cleared up. And man, I'm tearing up, y'all. This is going to be a ride. It's already giving 5, maybe 6-star energy. So we're going to see how this goes. This is my required read for work because I'm hosting the book club for this book at my work. So I have big feelings. I have so many big feelings, and they're very hard to articulate at the moment. But I needed to turn on the camera and let you know that this is what I'm feeling about this book at the moment. And yes. So with that said, I'm going to keep reading. I've got some friends who are going to be hosting some sprints in a little while, but I'm going to keep reading and probably cry some more at the rate this is going. And yes, I'm feeling lots of things. So here we go.
Girl, you got me down so bad. I can't say enough. She pull up with that new thing. Please don't fall in love, 'cause I think of you all day. Yeah, I was running through my brain, can't be nothing. 'Cause I just know you got me thinking about forever. Got a crush, crush, crush on you. I just wanna be your only crush, crush, crush on you. I'm not the type to give it in, read it out to your mind. Let me tell you now, I got a crush, crush, crush on you. When I was looking outside, girl, you got me lost in your eyes. I got you when you're falling. Just know that I won't be here for long. Thinking of you all day, yeah. Running in my head, all or nothing. 'Cause I just know you got me thinking about forever. Got a crush, crush, crush on you. I just wanna be your only crush, crush, crush on you. I'm not the type to give it in, read it out to your mind. Let me tell you now, I got a crush, crush, crush on you. I want you more than just for a night.
Y'all, I've only read one more chapter. One more chapter, and it's done this to me. Oh, so much of this. And there's so much to the story between the artist and his friends. And the person who finds him is one of those friends you find out in this chapter. And it's... come on! Oh, man. I'm falling apart. And I'm just going to continue to fall apart. If you've been around this channel at all, you're used to me losing my senses when it comes to these things. So with that said, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep crying. And that's just where we're going to be today. And that's okay.
So yes, I'm in the car, but I'm listening to my friends, and a thing just happened, and my whole response was, heck yeah, Backman, thank you. This book is amazing. I haven't taken a minute to talk to you guys for a minute. I'm crying again. So clearly this is an emotionally charged book. It's beautifully written. I'm definitely not mad at it. I will be finishing it today. But heck yeah, Backman, thank you so much. I'm just really happy with what's going on right now. and it's going to be really interesting to see how the rest of it plays out. So we'll have a full sit down chat once I get home later, but because by then I'll be done.
Okay, friends, we are at the end of this video. It happened. It happened with my friends. With the way I was viscerally reacting to so much of this book, I can't say I'm surprised. I did not feel this way about A Man Called Ove. That book was not for me. This book was for me. This Backman is my spouse's age. So when he's writing the teenagers in the past, it was very much my generation. And I really deeply related to a lot of what the past was going through and what the current was even going through. One of the very main characters in this storyline was my age. And it very much, there's so much of this book that I could just fangirl about for so long. It is beautifully written. The way Backman wrote his prose in this is masterful and a beautiful work of art. I would highly recommend reading this book. And I'm not saying that just because it's a Barnes & Noble book club pick. That is not why I'm saying that about this book. Yes, I was assigned to read this book for work. The book itself made me want to scream about it. And don't ever not pick up a book because it's recommended by a company like Barnes & Noble, because I've had 2 books this month that were part of the monthly picks program that have been 6 stars. Because yes, this is a 6-star, not just a 5-star. And I don't know if it's just whoever curated this month that did a fantastic job, but I've had pretty well hits with the monthly picks I've picked up and read. So it's not silly that they're recommending them. It's brilliant that they're recommending them, because sometimes those books might not have gotten nearly as much attention. Granted, this Backman one probably would have because it's Backman, but the journey of teenagers and art and learning how to cope with life in your last summer as a teenager is really a beautiful thing, because sometimes you grow up faster than age classifies you to be an adult, and a lot of things that happen to the teenagers in the past in this book force them to grow up and lose their childhood in a myriad of ways. And there were certain things and reveals at the end that gave me hope in humanity, and that let a lot of the doom and gloom throughout this book leave you uplifted by the end. That's all I can say without really talking deep spoilers. I'm actually really excited I get to host the book club for this book for my work, so that I get to discuss those kinds of things in depth with people who have read it. And if you've read this book, feel free to DM me on Instagram or join my Discord and sound off about it with me, because this book is amazing. I have zero regrets. Please, 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 please read this book. And yes, I like the bright yellow cover and his signature and the bird. The bird means things. And I can't tell you anything until you've read the book. So, and this from a friend, that hits so different after you've read the novel. Just little details like that just make this book so special. I will be rereading it and finishing annotating it, because I got deeply sucked into the audiobook and I was running a lot of errands and I didn't want to stop. And so I kept going. So with that said, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you are here just because you love me, leave me a bird emoji down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.